We all know the story of the mermaid. In Disney's The Little Mermaid, a young girl with long hair and a fishtail lives under the sea. She swims among coral reefs, talks to schools of fish, and for the sake of love, leaves her ocean kingdom to step onto land. This is a fairy tale, but take away all the magic, princes, and castles, and one core question remains. What exactly is a mermaid? Imagine yourself standing on a wooden ship hundreds of years ago, surrounded by endless ocean. There is no radar, no powerful telescopes, no satellites. Even your maps may not be accurate. In the daytime, you can still see the sea stretching far into the distance, yet when night falls, the whole world sinks into utter blackness. Out of this darkness, something floats up to the surface. It has a human-like head. Part of its body rises out of the water. It seems to have two arms. Slowly, it turns its head, and the next moment, it vanishes back into the sea. Would you think you had just seen an ordinary sea animal, or would you think you have seen a mermaid? Human tales of mermaids date back thousands of years, long before Disney. Ancient Babylon worshipped half-human, half-fish deities. In European legends, mermaids lured sailors. Across different civilizations, they went by different names and carried different personalities. Yet they shared one strikingly similar image, a human-like being that dwells in the ocean. And here lies the truly strange part. The oceans cover a vast area of our planet, but to this day, we have found no real mermaids, no bones, no bodies, no DNA, no fossil evidence proving that half-human, half-fish creatures ever walked, or swam, the Earth. Noé states it plainly. So far, there is no evidence supporting the existence of aquatic humanoid beings. So here comes the question. If mermaids never existed, why did so many old sailors swear they had spotted them? The answer may lie in an animal you would never expect. It has no fishtail, no long flowing hair. It cannot sing enchanting songs. It will never fall in love with a human prince. In fact, it looks somewhat like a huge sandbag floating in the water. These creatures are manatees. Today's manatees, including manatees and dugongs, belong to a group called Sirenia. The group's scientific name, Sirenia, is quite revealing. The word siren itself is closely linked to the sea spirits and mermaid figures of European mythology. What is more, manatees have physical traits that easily fooled ancient sailors. They live in the water. They can turn their heads sideways. Their forelimbs are flippers, yet they still contain bone structures similar to human limbs. Their bodies are large and rounded. Their tails are broad and flat. Female manatees have mammary glands positioned in such a way that from certain angles, their silhouette looks surprisingly human-like. Put yourself in the sailor's shoes. You have been at sea for months. Food is scarce. You are sleep-deprived. You are thousands of miles away from land. Dozens of meters from your ship, you spot a creature breaking the surface. Its head sticks above water. Its flippers rest close to its body. Its form rises and falls with the rolling waves. Unlike most fish, it does not dart away quickly. It simply drifts slowly there. To modern eyes, this is plainly a manatee. But for sailors, hundreds of years ago, this could very well be a mermaid. In 1493, Christopher Columbus recorded a famous mermaid sighting near the Caribbean Sea. He claimed he had seen 3 mermaids. Yet he also noted that these mermaids were far less beautiful than the legends described, and even bore somewhat masculine facial features. Today, historians widely believe this account is a classic case of manatee misidentification. What makes this story even more fascinating, however, is not modern-day manatees. It is their ancient ancestors. Manatees did not suddenly appear in our oceans. Their evolutionary story stretches back roughly 50 million years. By that time, the dinosaurs had long disappeared. Mammals were spreading across the globe. Some land-dwelling mammals began to venture back into the water. Gradually, they adapted to marine life. Their limbs transformed. Their bodies grew more streamlined. Hind limbs shrank and eventually disappeared. Their tails grew larger and more powerful. Over time, they gave rise to modern manatees, dugongs, and many extinct ancient Sirenian species. In other words, if you truly want to hunt for the ancient original mermaids, you should not search for mythical half-human, half-fish monsters. What you ought to look for is an entire family of mammals that once roamed prehistoric oceans. Back then, this group was far more diverse than today. They inhabited many different sea regions. Multiple kinds of Sirenians even shared the same waters. Some of these species are gone forever. They had no kingdoms, no magic powers, no glamorous fishtails. But long before humans understood the ocean, they swam slowly through the seawater. So what exactly did ancient sailors glimpse when they saw a human-like shape bobbing on dark seas at night? It might have been a manatee. It might have been a dugong, or merely an illusion woven together by waves, moonlight, and exhaustion. Sometimes, stories themselves reshape human memory. An ordinary marine animal, told once, becomes a mysterious sea monster. Told 10 times, it gains a human-like face. Told 100 times, it grows long hair and a fishtail. Passed down for thousands of years, it finally turns into the mermaid we all know today. Perhaps this is the most magical part of the mermaid legend. The fact that we have never found physical proof does not mean humans never saw mermaids. We simply misinterpreted what we saw. We set out searching for a half-human, half-fish creature. Yet the real evidence comes from mammals that have lived in Earth's oceans for tens of millions of years. So the next time you watch the figure from the Little Mermaid, try picturing a different scene. No castles, no magic, no princes, only the ocean of tens of millions of years ago. An ancient Sirenian glides slowly through shallow coastal waters. Sunlight filters down through the seawater. Seagrass sways in the current. Much later, human beings stand beside this very same ocean, gazing out toward the horizon. And someone suddenly speaks up. "I just saw a mermaid." Maybe that is where fairy tales really begin. Long before human eyes watched them, the oceans already held countless wonders. We just gave some of them a name.